hold on. If you had the tools, what the hell is your job on the show? The expert fail is on full display as the experts roll in and try to save the day. Not trying to rhyme, but it kind of fits. Ikechi is back in full force with trying to make it seem like he's the victim, and I feel like he has got the experts snowed. No surprise there. Madison had some reasonable words for Alan, and he wasn't hearing it. Karla is getting free business advice from Juan. Michelle is Michelle. Go figure. Camille and Thomas write letters that, kind of are pointless, but we'll see. First, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I appreciate all that. And make sure you tune in for the live show on Wednesday at 8 p.m. or tonight, depending on when you are watching this video right here. But it's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to look at Ikechi's book. What a great read it is. No, I did not buy it, but we will look at the reviews and what it's about because it definitely gets some insight into that guy who's fun, to say the least. But let's get started.
He said he needed space. I gave it to him, and then I became the ass.
Ah.
It just sucks because I actually came into this for marriage.
True.
I didn't come into this for any other reason.
True. And the thing is he actually points out, which we'll get to, about how she came into marriage, but as a pejorative, as a negative, which is interesting considering that's the whole point of the show, Ike.
So I thought it necessary to meet with him one-on-one so we could find
man to
out
man,
what
do some investigating.
is on his mind.
Why would you care what's on Ikechi's mind? For one, you know what's going on. Don't act like they don't look at the video, they don't get reports. And Dr. Pia even said, I get reports, right, once they get to some of the other people. So they know what they're getting. So we say, we're going to come in here, we're going to see what's going on. It's a little odd behavior. Like, the odd behavior is that he's actually, it's not really odd behavior, it's just true behavior, showing what he really is and how he really feels, which is he ain't feeling it at all, probably never wanted to get married, wanted the publicity, but as his book continues to get bashed because of what a not great person he has been on the show, he's probably rethinking and trying to get out.
As soon as we got back from the honeymoon, it started off with her trying to initiate sex. And I let her know that, hey, I'm not there yet. She came in for a husband. I don't think it would have mattered who it was.
Exactly. You just said the whole plot of the show, but yet you're going to act like this isn't the plot of the show? You don't know who you get. Yes, you give your preferences, but the point is you don't have a clue of who's coming, and you have to be open-minded, so you might not care who you get if you're open-minded. Is he dense? I mean, he might actually be dense.
2 days into the honeymoon, hey, get in the shower with me.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
3, yeah.
Why would she think that? Maybe it's because you're putting her hand on your junk.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, but I don't know you. 4 days into the honeymoon, or a week into the honeymoon, hey, would you move in with me after this is over?
Look at his face. He's like, are we having this conversation right now? You're talking about a marriage. What do you think it is? You're talking about how she wants to have the conversation about moving in together. Yes, because you're married. She says, hey, get in the shower with me. Yes, because she's trying to build intimacy. Now, can you say I'm not there yet? Sure. No one's saying you can't say that. You're making it this big deal that she's not making it. Clearly, she took what you said because she took that. You didn't say anything else about the whole shower thing. And then 2 weeks later, hey, maybe we can talk about moving in together when this is all over. Yes, like a married couple does. Everything he's saying is not bad at all. And it doesn't sound like the person that's relentlessly just trying to beat him down to sleep with him because Ike is God's gift to women. No, it sounds like a wife trying to be intimate with her husband and letting it be known she wants to be, with him saying he doesn't want to be and letting it be. That's what it sounds like. He is looking for a door out. He's trying to get out, try to figure it out, or he just finally discovered that the publicity thing ain't happening and I'm actually in a marriage and I have resentment. That's what it sounds like to me.
She acts, I don't feel like I'm a partner. I just feel like I'm an extra in the dream that is hers.
Never once has she made any attempt to show that that's what she thinks.
And she just pulled you into it, and she wants you to basically follow her lead.
Right.
Are you okay?
And on top of that, to be belittled.
Belittled?
To be, poked at. I don't see love in this house. I don't see friendship here.
Respect.
I don't see respect at all.
You gotta get, for one, you gotta give respect to get respect. And there's only one person I've seen actually giving respect, and that's her. It's not you, not even a little bit. What is he actually talking about? She's not belittled him. She's not done any of that. She's not made it seem like she's better than him or anything like that. Nothing. And yet he's trying to make it seem like he is. So he's trying to push it back on her like she's doing all these things that she is not doing. There's a term for it. It's that term I hate. What is it? Gaslighting. He is the gaslight king. That's what his book needs to be named, because that's all he does. You're doing this, and she's like, what are you talking about? Until she starts to think, and you'll see she's getting beat down a little bit because even the experts are joining in, and she's starting to think maybe she is doing some of that stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Respect.
I don't see respect at all. Have I disrespected her? Not once.
This fool actually thinks he has not disrespected her once, not even a single time. All he has done is disrespect the whole way through. But he gets handled 2 seconds later.
Have you called her an ass?
When you act like an ass, that's what you get called.
I haven't disrespected her not one time. Have you called her an a-hole? Well, when you act like an a-hole, that's what you get called. She didn't act like an a-hole. What are you talking about? The most thing you can argue that she did there is maybe she wasn't as direct as she should have been. She was being a little passive. But at what point, when you're trying to hold it all in, you can tell they want to let it all out, what do? Sometimes it comes out as passive. You know who was being the a-hole here? It ain't her. It's, again, Ike for the win. Look at his face. Look at that face. Look, I got plenty of problems with the experts, but that face right there says it all.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been disrespectful.
Okay, it's like, I haven't been disrespectful at all. You're right, I've been disrespectful. He got scolded by his dad. This fool is ridiculous on so many levels, and he's trying to convince everyone that he's the good person while doing everything to show he is not the good person.
To communicate and make sure it stays healthy is very important.
Now look, I want you, when she's talking, look at her face. She is holding her face like this with almost like a snarl the whole time. And I don't say that to be negative towards her. I'm saying that to be in the sense of where her state is, where her mental state is, where her, mentality is when it comes to him. She's getting to a resentment stage, but still trying to make it work. That says a lot of things about her character and doesn't say much about his, because he doesn't have any character. He's very, very little on the inside. That's Ikechi for you. But she's trying to hold it together, but clearly, I don't see how you turn this around. There's nothing to really turn around here when you have that mentality, that feeling where when you're talking, it comes out as this face. And that's that body language. When I say they need to get body language experts on here, it's for stuff like this. Not so much later on, but in the beginning, to see things like that before they go in, so they can see what kind of person they're dealing with and are they even ready.
Any concerns about how he might show up or how he might behave?
Yes, I'm very concerned that he may be dismissive, nonchalant.
Oh, yeah. And that's all he's going to be, because he's going to be dismissive to what you are doing or what you're feeling, because he makes it all about him.
You where you're at.
Okay.
And he can't.
Okay.
And then that's making him shut down. Like he
Oh,
needs a little bit
okay.
of time.
Oh,
and so that's what
does
I'm
he?
challenging you to do, is to be malleable to your husband's needs.
This is what I'm talking about. She has been the only one that's been malleable, because she simply asked a few questions. She's going to be the bad guy in this. And I get it. Look, out of all of them, Dr. P is the only one that comes off as decent every now and again. But this whole thing with, you have to kind of be a little malleable, that kind of thing. No, he's the only one not trying, because she wants to ask some questions about the future, or wants to say, hey, can we move in together? Yeah, that is dumb. That is dumb on his part to even come off as a problem. No, he is looking for an out because he doesn't want to be married. She said, when asked, like, what do you think some of the problems are, or something like that, she said, I don't think he wants to be married. 100%, no doubt in my mind. I don't know what he wants. He wants to be famous. He wants to be a famous author. He wants to be a famous musician. He wants to be a famous poet. He doesn't really know what he wants, but he knows he wants to have people that love him and adore him, because he's God's gift to the world, right? That's what he wants. He doesn't want a wife to hold him back. This was a publicity opportunity. But you know what happened? It backfired, because his book got inundated with bad reviews. Clearly, it's not people that read it. And we'll get to that tonight, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this video, Wednesday at 8 p.m., we will get to looking at some of the reviews that people said. And you know what? I don't condone that, because it's kind of silly. Like, you didn't read the book and you're going to, just bomb it with bad reviews. But it backfired on you because guess what? You're not a nice person, Ike. And guess what people don't like? People who are not nice people. So come on, man, get together. And you ain't going to be famous. You just ain't. So stop trying.
I might have done some wrong, but it was
Yeah, you did.
definitely as a reaction to the wrong that was done.
This is trying to explain himself before he goes into this. I definitely did some wrong, but I did it in response to the wrong that was done. What wrong? Your wife saying she wants to be with you? I guarantee it didn't. She didn't tackle you to the ground and say, "Oh, you gonna sleep with me and you're gonna like it." No, that didn't go that way at all. But you're making it seem like she was just like a wildebeest, just pouncing on you without remorse, and you couldn't do anything about it. Like, come on, man.
You're art.
I am.
You're science.
I am.
But they think differently.
True.
For somebody who's art, sometimes it's even difficult to
Well, he fancies himself art. That's the reality.
explain what you need. You know, I kind of need you to experience who I am.
Just stop. I need to. You just feel like you need people to experience who you are. No, he's not giving anything. Everything he says is, I just need to. You can get to know someone by just being there, being in the moment. All he ever says is, I basically don't want to ever have to reveal anything about myself. Maybe that's because if you reveal something about yourself, you know people aren't going to like you because you're not a very good person inside, and you have plenty of work to do on yourself, but you want to point the finger at everyone else. Maybe that's the case, but the experts aren't going to tell you that, are they?
Be there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that if you guys had the tools at that time, which we were trying to provide, to push through that and to just simply communicate what you were meaning by what you were saying, I think this probably would be at a different place.
Wait, hold on. If you had the tools, what the hell is your job on the show? The experts are the ones supposed to give you the tools, but then they're going to say, if you had the tools, maybe we would be in a better place. Who are they getting the tools from? Experts? Y'all didn't want to come in when this was happening 2 weeks ago? No, y'all wanted to wait because of the drama. So don't act like if they had the tools, but yet they couldn't have been provided them. Just stop. Like that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, you're basically talking yourself out of a job because why are you there?
I think you both are awesome people. And I think you could be great together, but, time will tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. And by the way, you put two very different people together, but you look at their checklist and say you check these things off, but then you proceed to say, hey, you're artistic and you're science, and those are two very different thinking ways, but we're going to put those together. Now, opposites can do great together if you can make it work, if the communication styles can come together and work together to be the best possible thing they can be, because you have things on this side and you have things on this side, and when they come together, it's a beautiful thing. That was not the case for them. So them trying to act like, oh, I think it could work, time will tell. Well, you matched them crap. You matched them horribly. So what did you think was going to happen? Nothing good. Was this the one you had planned to be the real blow up, or did you just happen to have 3 or 4 blow up and now you're just kind of like, okay, I guess we're rolling with it. Hopefully one will make it. Now, Madison and Alan had an interesting time because he did some stuff that now he's going to, I guess, be justifying again, but make no mistake, he was wrong in this aspect.
To get a good night's sleep, and you didn't want.
Well, yeah, there was just stuff that I had to do that I had to be kind of in my zone for, and I didn't want to risk having a night's sleep.
Do you really not think that you did anything wrong?
I could have handled that better, I guess.
So what happened was they went out drinking and supposedly had a date night. Supposedly it went well, came back. He decided to go back to his own apartment and just leave. Now, he had been drinking. I don't know how much. They didn't really specify. But either way, probably not the best thing to drive in that. And that was her whole point. And also, he left to go home and stay the night somewhere else. Now, I gave him a lot of credit. And I still do, because she was wrong for leaving those times she did. But now you're doing the same thing that you had a problem with by leaving when you could have just stayed there with your wife. So you're wrong. And you presumably drove impaired. We'll be nice about it and say impaired, because I don't know how drunk you were. That's a problem, and now you lost the moral high ground because you did the very same thing that you said you had a problem with.
We're just going to continue to disagree.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't see any attempt on your end to try to at least understand my perspective or something.
Understand what?
Why would I? You're putting yourself at risk. You're putting other people at risk. Like,
she's got the high ground here.
If I was inebriated, I would not have driven.
Okay. If you were inebriated, you wouldn't have known. You might have been inebriated. That's the whole point. You drink, you don't have good judgment. And she was probably, when she's saying you shouldn't drive, she's looking at how much you're drinking. Now, even if you had your one beer, okay, take away the drinking aspect. You left, and you said you were mad when she did that. So, but you left now and are doing the exact same thing. So there's several layers to this. But she seemed to be more concerned about you driving intoxicated. So now you're trying to be like, you don't see my perspective. What perspective? That you could have killed yourself? Yeah, or someone else, because if you're the drunk person, guess who's going to be the real victim in that? It's not you if you pass. It's going to be the little kid that you unalive in the car next to you. That's you. So why were you writing this?
Is there anything that you find attractive about me?
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. That's kind of like a weird question to ask.
Yeah, you said your answer right there. So his question was, is there anything you find attractive about me? And her answer is, that's kind of a weird question. Well, you just answered by saying that. So this is what we've known since day one. She's not attractive to Alan. That's fine. You don't have to be attracted to someone, but just come out and say it. You might as well get divorced now if you don't think it's going to change. And she's kind of acting like it's not going to change. So you might as well end it now, not finish the show. You want to do the reunions, fine, but just stop playing this along, just carrying it along for no reason, because that's where you're at right now.
Uncomfortable, and if you said safe, like you didn't feel safe, if I'm doing things that make you not feel safe, like that's like an instant shift, like that'll change it. I want to be somebody that gives you that sense of security.
So the reason why he's had this flip is because she talks about how her mother, I believe it was an alcoholic. I believe she said she's doing better now, but growing up, she did a lot of things that weren't right. She said a lot of mean things to her, so that kind of resonates with her. When you're an addict, when you're an alcoholic, you do a lot of things that you're going to regret. Again, this is no secret. I'm a recovering addict, so there's a lot of things you have guilt for. And the other people on the other end of that who you've done this to, they don't let that go easily. And they remember. They may forgive. You may grow to have great relationships, as I do with my family. But that doesn't change all the bad things I've done in the past. It doesn't change all the bad things her mom did in the past. And it doesn't change that she remembers all of those things. So her coming from the drunk driving perspective and having a real problem with what he was doing was more about she really has seen that. And it scares her. And she was scared for him. I do have a problem with the experts who keep going back to, the things you've been through in the past to excuse the horrible behavior. But in this case, this was a safety thing. She was actually worried for what could happen. And that's the kind of stuff that doesn't go away easily. So they clearly have some stuff they got to work out. I hope they end cordially with whatever it is. Clearly they're not going to make it. But they definitely got some stuff they got to work out for sure. So let's hope for the best. Now, Juan and Karla are in an interesting place because she's kind of treating it like Juan is just going to give her business advice, more so than actually being a married couple.
I want it to be myself. So, there won't be, other chairs. So it'll just be, me and...
So she's going to open a salon, but she just wants to be her. So it's one chair. Maybe not the best business plan.
My space... where I cut hair, and I want it to be a creative space. But during the day, I'll be taking my clients.
Okay.
And then later on, kind of turning it into the space where I would do an hour of Pilates and then sound healing afterwards.
Okay.
I think it's also...
So she wants to have a big space, so it's gonna be a big room. There's gonna be one chair in the middle with your haircut and stuff, and you're gonna cut your own clients, but you can have all this space. So what? And then you're going to do yoga and stuff, which makes the space make more sense. But you only want to have a chair for you to cut hair. So that says you only want people to see what you do. You don't want to have other people around you maybe showing you up. But it's still not the best business plan, though.
So good to have other people, other chairs in there, because then you could you can build clientele up that way. And if you're a great leader, then you could expand into like in the future of like maybe owning more spaces and kind of like franchise.
You know how a lot of people make money, and a lot of these people who do hair and beauticians and things like that, somebody, the person who actually owns the space, owns a building with a bunch of different like units that people rent from them. The money is in the person renting the units. If you're the owner and you can still cut hair and have your own unit, but you rent out all the other units, you're going to be doing a lot better than if you just have one building and your little chair and your people are paying to do yoga with you. So think bigger if you're trying to start a business. In this case, she needs to listen to him on this, because the one hair cutting chair thing is going to fail very quickly.
I've done by the end of the year. Figure out month to month how much you're selling, you know, month to month how many followers you're getting.
He's just talking about a simple business plan at this point. Figure out your business plan, figure out how you're going to market.
On all your social media platforms and track all that.
So to track social media as well?
Yeah.
So I have to track social media as well? There's a lot that goes into starting a business. Like, yes, you're going to have to do a lot of things and wear many hats. She doesn't want that. She wants the spoils, but she doesn't want to be able to do the work, or she doesn't want to have to do the work. She wants to be able to make the money. She wants to be able to live this nice free lifestyle. But as far as doing the work to get it there, that's a part she struggles with.
I'm going to hold it up to my pineal gland so I can activate my pineal.
We're crystalling it up here.
Is your third eye activated?
Is your third eye activated? All right. Is y'all's third eye activated? We're all activated. He's like, I'm rolling with it. I'm just happy to be here. At least they're happy in this moment. Sure. But like I said, there's no real connection there. There's no real affection. So that's definitely going to hinder their progress. But at least in the moment, there's not a whole lot of controversy. So to be determined. Now, Michelle and David continue to have problems. She is the same place she's been this whole time, which is why I don't even understand why they're continuing on. There's no point of it. And he's kind of in the same place he's been at, which is like, I don't really understand what's going on. I'm trying to make it work as best I can. It's just not working. What do we do from here? That's pretty much the state of their relationship.
I think it's true for everyone, but it might be particularly true in these circumstances. It's really not about you.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay.
It's about what you represent, or what you remind someone of, or, you know, all the things that are packed in a lifetime. But this
is the problem. They are excusing all of the behavior by talking about things they've been through in the past. I know that traumas you go through can shape you. But having a therapist basically tell you the reason you do this behavior is because of what you've been through, and not holding some accountability to the people is not helping them either. You're excusing the behavior and giving a reason to say, hey, this is why I do this. Instead of saying, yes, you've been through a trauma we need to work through, but we need to do better about how you treat people. This is one of the problems with therapy, and this is what we see with a lot of these therapists on here, is that they don't want to actually have any accountability, really. Now, Pastor Cal, who's not a therapist, I guess he's a pastor, held Ikechi a little bit of accountable to say, you did this, you called her this, that was nice. But most of the time it's like, you went through this, so this is why they are this way. Okay, but are you going to tell them that's not the way they should be with someone that they're supposed to be married to? The balance is off. The balance is off. The victim culture is there and the balance is off.
To me, it feels like David is like 10 years behind me.
Good God.
And it's just like,
damn.
I feel like sometimes it's like immaturity stuff that like bothers me, and that I already think that like you're a little bit further behind than I am. Like,
she just thinks so highly of herself. She thinks she has made so much progress in life that she is light years above everyone else. To say that I feel like he's 10 years behind me and it's an immaturity because he's not where you think a person should be, and this all stems from the whole living in the basement thing, which again I had my problems with. But damn, she is just constantly mean girling it up. And I don't know how to tell you this, lady, but you ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. You ain't the prettiest girl out there. You have an ego that has no reason for it. It's ridiculous why you even act that way. So to be able to come and just bash someone else constantly and say it's constantly because you think they're immature, because you think they're not doing this, they're not doing that, like, damn, the skeletons in your closet probably go really deep.
And sometimes just sharing some of these things so he can know you better, to know that this is not a shallow response. It's a deep-seated inheritance from your childhood.
See, Explain away again. So basically tell him why there's a reason why I can treat you like crap. This is why, because it's deep-seated. It's not just shallow, it's deep-seated. So this is why I can treat you like crap, David. Does that sound like something you want to stick in a relationship with? And my God, Dr. Pepper, need I remind y'all that she's the one that lives separate from her husband and says, that's okay. And she's the expert on this show to tell people how to live in their marriage. But again, I digress on Dr. Pepper. I have a pet peeve against that one.
Again, I think it's trendy. I feel like Drake wears denim on denim. Like, I can say...
All right, so seriously, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears vibes from the early 2000s, late 90s. That's what we're getting here. And she's going to say Drake. Now, is that Drake Degrassi or Drake the rapper who's trying to pretend like he goes hard? Which one is that? Because you are another person trying to make someone something that they're not. I mean, come on. You put the man in all denim. Give the guy a break. Whatever, if that's what he wants to wear, but damn, I don't know if it's the one I would recommend. He didn't even dress that bad when they went out to eat. She said he wore a t-shirt. He didn't even have a t-shirt on. Maybe it was more casual than you would think for a date. But he said he didn't have time to get there to change. Fine, take it at face value. But you're being a little ridiculous with this. Either way, they have made no progress and they're going nowhere. So let's enjoy these fun moments of straight denim on David. Which is a great look. So, yeah, all he needs is the sunglasses, and he's pretty much Justin Timberlake with Britney Spears in the early 2000s, late 90s. That's what we got here. Now, Camille and Thomas are the ones that are the most likely to stick together, and they kind of continue that trend.
With you than I have been in the past, so...
I'm definitely like a big compartmentalizer, so I feel like a lot of the stuff that bothers me is just, you know, almost rather just like, okay, I'm not even going to worry about this. I'm not even going to think about this.
Oh, okay.
I think that that's something that, you know, has been probably, yeah, like a coping mechanism.
Okay, so you're a compartmentalizer, but you couldn't compartmentalize that you're trying to make him like all your past boyfriends that didn't work out and that were bad boys. You couldn't kind of set that to the side and look at who he was? It doesn't make any sense. So you're being selectively compartmentalizing? Interesting technique there. You're going to have to get past that to be able to make it work with your husband. I will say that. The open communication, that's huge, and y'all seem to have that pretty good. But you saying you compartmentalize these things, you got to work on that as well, especially when it doesn't seem like it's really true when it comes to him. Because if it's something you don't like, you let it be known.
You are a very optimistic person. Do not let the challenges in life cause you to lose confidence.
Ooh. I think that the challenges in life made him lose confidence, because this is where they write the letters to the younger me. I don't really understand that. I don't really think that really does much for him. But he's saying, don't let lose confidence. He has a perpetual sad face. And I wonder if that is just how his face is, or if it's just all the stuff he's been through. I don't know. But saying, you know, don't lose confidence, I'm pretty sure he lost that a long time ago, and he's trying to gain it back, which is kind of sad.
Like the little devil on the shoulder, like, you know, it's still early. So.
Oh, devil on the shoulder.
I'll just promise to continue to present my true self and not to be something I am not.
So what does that mean to him, present his true self? Because she's been trying to make him into something since day one, with the clothes and with not liking what, trying to give him the swag and everything like that. That's her trying to make him into something he has not been. So when he says, I'm going to be my true authentic self, what does that mean to her? Or does that mean, okay, you be your authentic self with whatever your authentic self is that I say it is? So these are some of the things, and they don't have as many major things other than her continually harping on the different backgrounds, which, by the way, hasn't played much of a role. They've been able to work it out and be communicative, so there's no sense in playing on it. She didn't say much this episode, so good for her. But these minor things still have to be worked out, and you got to stop trying to make him into something he's not. Now, if you want to be better for the person you're with, there's nothing wrong with that. But different clothes, getting earrings, all these things, that's just trying to add the swagger factor. Doesn't really do much for actually kind of your betterment of who you are. Now, if that's what he really wants, that's fine, but make sure that you are being yourself and letting him be his self. Because I'm pretty sure when he says, I'll be myself, he's saying, I'll be whatever you want me to be. Which is sad, because he just wants to be loved. I mean, to be blunt, he just wants to be loved. So it is what it is. The madness is crazy. It always is. So we will see how these continue to play out. But I have a feeling in the next episode or two, we're really heading to those explosive whatever the hell happens. And it's going to be interesting and fun. So we will see. But make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, drop a super thanks if you want to support the channel, and tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern for the live show. We're going to be looking at Ikechi's book on Amazon. Okay, I didn't want to buy the book, so I don't have the book, but we're going to look at what it says about it and some of the reviews, which should be fun, so tune in for that. And I will see y'all next time.